Welcome to the Culinary and Hospitality panel. My name is Amy McKay. I'm the Career Development Coordinator here at West Carteret High School. Some of you know we're already beginning a Carteret County Career Academy in Culinary and Hospitality next year. And we thought you might want to learn a little bit more about what areas we have here in Carteret County in Culinary and Hospitality. Today we have a panel of many culinary and hospitality professionals from different types of culinary and hospitality businesses, careers, education, to learn more about the opportunities Carteret County has to offer us. I'd like the panel to introduce themselves. Be sure to tell your business, your job title, how your profession, career, or business provides or supports culinary and or hospitality in Carteret County. We'll start with Mr. Tom Keys.
Hi, my name is actually Tom Keys. I'm the president of the Carteret County Chamber of Commerce, and we're a member-based organization. However, we know that tourism, culinary, and hospitality are the economic engines that actually drive Carteret County. So we are very, very supportive of that industry, and I think without it, we would be in tough shape. So we highly support any kind of training that helps support that industry.
Mr. Clark Merrill.
Yeah, I'm Clark Merrill. I have, I know most of you guys out here, but we got Cirque 81 restaurant. We have Dank Burrito. We just launched the barbecue restaurant, Social Q. We have a wedding venue or an event space over on the beach called the Merrill Estate and Gardens, which was formerly known as the Ocean Club. And then we own and operate 4 retail stores with the Beaufort Olive Oil Company, which, it skates on the side of the food and hospitality piece, but, it's kind of food-based product. So I'll throw that in there, but that's what we do.
Great, thank you. Mr. Jeremiah Tryon.
Yeah, my name's Jeremiah, and I work over at Blue Ocean Market out of Morehead City, and I'm the chef and general manager. We service a lot of restaurants, obviously providing them with fresh seafood, as well as a retail market, and I have a small food service operation of my own. So, that's what we do in the hospitality realm.
Awesome. Ms. Tina Purifoy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, I'm Tina Purifoy. I'm the director of the Crystal Coast Civic Center, which also encompasses Carteret County Parks and Recreation Department. So I work for the county in my title, but at the Civic Center here, we obviously host lots of events. Normally, not these days, but normally we do. Lots of weddings and corporate events, association meetings. We do a little bit of everything in the hospitality business. We work with a lot of local caterers and restaurants, most of which are on this call today. And just host events. We bring a lot of groups that are from outside the county into Carteret County, stay in the restaurants or stay in the hotels, eat in the restaurants, and have their event or meeting here at the Civic Center. So our venue is extremely important to tourism in the area. And hopefully one day we'll get back to business soon and we can all move forward. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you. Ms. Mindy Fitzpatrick.
Hi. First of all, thank you for doing this. It's pretty cool and an honor to be with the same Zoom with all these people that we respect in the county too, that are in the food industry. My name is Mindy Fitzpatrick, and along with my husband, we created and own the Friendly Market, which is an ever-changing and evolving business. We like to say we did foods packaged to go before it was cool, about 14 years ago. So we have learned as we've gone, and we are changing as we speak. Just the way it has grown, the possibility of shipping, the kitchen that we have, and very lucky to be where we are. So we touch a lot of different areas as far as customer service and hospitality. We do offer catering kind of on the down low, but we'd like to get that more exposed to, and of course making our foods to go along with the nursery and the produce. But thank you for having me.
Thank you. Mr. Peter Grills.
Good morning. My name's Peter Grills. I'm the general manager of Beaufort Hotel and 34 North Restaurant. We touch a few areas of hospitality, both with the restaurant, the 133 guest rooms we have, and then the catering facility banquet space that we can host meetings at as well. We employ about 120 associates during season, and we wish it was in season right now.
Mr. Charles Park?
Hello, Amy, and good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me on the panel today. My primary job is culinary instructor and hospitality chair at the college, but I also own Beaufort Grocery with my wife and my daughter. We're a full-service caterer, restaurant, and we have a small market in Bow Coast across from the Beaufort Hotel that does a little bit of retail outlet.
Awesome, thank you. And Ms. Shanna Olmsted.
Hi, thank you for having me. My name is Shanna Olmsted. I'm the lead instructor for Hospitality Management and Food Service Technologies at Carteret Community College. I also own Floyd's 1921 with my husband, Floyd. We've been in business for 15 years. We are a traditional restaurant as well as a catering company.
Well, thank you all for being here today. I'm hoping today we'll learn a little bit more about culinary and hospitality in basically Carteret County. Can each of you share a little bit about the education, certifications, or skills that are beneficial in your area of culinary or hospitality, or things you see that kids need to basically get through education or through, just practicing, certifications, etc., in your area? And I'll just let y'all kind of jump in because.
Well, I'll start off. I think each area, and Tina can probably back me up on this, each area has a very different educational qualification. The part that she and I went to college for it required a 4-year degree for sure. And I see that the hotel industry, the front of the house piece, is starting to change to require more than just experience, but also higher education. Then at the same time, I think, especially when you're looking at Parks and Rec, if you're looking at recreation management, more and more colleges, 4-year programs are adding event management. And so we're really seeing kind of a rise in that, and more colleges jumping on board. I think from a culinary perspective, you can still be successful without, but I think at least a 2-year degree. I think employers are looking for more critical thinking skills. They're looking for more of a well-rounded, being able to jump in human resources, being able to jump in on marketing ideas, menu planning, food cost, all of those things. Most of that is going to come from at least a 2-year degree.
I think a lot of the positions in hospitality that are entry level, they may be a server or a front desk person. I mean, you can do those jobs without a college degree. Right. I think if you want to make a career of this industry, I think getting some type of additional education, doesn't have to be a 4-year degree. It just helps you grow faster. You're not in the positions learning them. You'll learn some of the basics that Shanna talked about that you need in each of them. But having some type of outside education, even community college, just helps you just move up quicker if that's your goal.
I agree with Peter. For culinary people, they really need a solid culinary foundation, at least a 2-year degree. It's more of a trade than it is really management. And then, if you want, like Peter was saying, if you want to move up faster, you need to adapt those soft skills and either get another associate's degree or further go on to your bachelor.
I'll hop in. I agree with all of that. And then I also would, in addition to the education background of it, just getting experience, and whether you're volunteering or doing an internship or working part-time, especially in this area, if you want to stay in this area, knowing the who's who's and getting into the trenches will really benefit you in the future. Knowing the Olmsteads or the Merrills, or knowing that what their business is like in the summertime will usually help you in the winter. And if you can handle the restaurant and hospitality business in the summertime, then it's something that you look for a year-round career. Getting the experience, learning customer service side. A lot of these things you can't really learn in the classroom, but being hands-on is always a benefit. My opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I'll add to all of that. I think from the culinary standpoint, I think it's time on task. I work with kids that are fresh out of culinary school that just don't have the contact hours in the kitchen, and we have to take them down a certain path. And then, opposite of that, we have kids that, have never been to school, and, they possess a certain skill set that is valuable as well. So it's just, I think you need both. You can get them at the same time. You could be going to school and working at the same time. But I mean, ultimately, if you've ever read Danny Meyer's book, Setting the Table, there comes a point in a chef's career where he could be a really talented chef, but to get to that next level, it's going to entail management. And if you're not a good manager, then you're never going to make better money, top dollar. You're always going to kind of be held in this position that's limiting. And so you do need that educational piece or those skill sets to kind of break through to the next level if long-term career is your goal. So hopefully that makes sense.
I feel like a combination of everything that y'all have said. It's education helps. The biggest thing that we find here is that we need people with a desire to work and to hustle and to put it out. And we like when people come in and are motivated. We keep it pretty open here. We think education is important. I think reading basically is important. We have a very family type atmosphere, and we don't require a lot of experience to be here. We have developed people, well, actually they have developed themselves. We've given them a place where they can get recognition and create and do. And it's neat to see people come in and maybe not think that they're a baker, but go that direction and become one and succeed. We're proud that we can reward them very well too throughout the year. We have about 50 on staff right now, and that will grow drastically as we head towards February and March. But the experience is so important. We have benefited from the culinary school. We have a couple that are fantastic, and it's nice when they come in and they so easily can go into the work we do and the amount of food we do. But I think for us, the number one thing is the desire, and you know that if they put time in to get education too. And not all of them come in with any type of education after high school, but having that avenue and available here makes a big difference for us when we're talking to a prospect. As we like to say, we recruit people like a basketball team. So it makes a big difference, and we're appreciative of the culinary school and what they're getting ready to do in the high school.
Well, I agree with everything everybody said. And one thing I'd like to touch on here is the team building and management aspect of a professional kitchen, or just front of the house, the whole operation. At Johnson & Wales, they had a good business class, Fortune 500 companies, and studying what they did to stay successful. And, if you're going to take the time to get educated, to get the 2 or 4 year degree in the hospitality industry, you will be managing people under stress and pressure. And it's good to know how to form those relationships, form those teams, and, make sure that you're moving forward, and retaining people is a big deal nowadays.
That kind of leads right into my next little question. You've always heard the word soft skills or 21st century skills. These are like skills that are important for a person to be successful in the workplace, but not necessarily strictly culinary or that kind of thing. It's more like communication, teamwork, things like that. What would you say is one of the most important or the most important soft skills that you see you need in culinary and hospitality?
Well, I think the bottom line is you have to like people. This is as much of a customer service industry as there ever was. And you touch so many lives, and you have to want to do that. And you have to want to give people an experience. We are intangible. You don't get to return what we do. It doesn't come in a box. So it is strictly about giving people an experience. The only way to do that is to actually genuinely like humans. And so that's the biggest soft skill.
I'm going to jump in on this as well. We did a survey of various companies and businesses in Carteret County a couple of years ago. And one of the biggest needs when they were looking for employees are soft skills. And that Shanna hit it right on the head. Can you get along with folks? Can you work with people? Can you be part of a team? So that's huge.
I agree with that. And you won't be able to look up the term in a book and find, what does soft skills mean?
Right.
And I mean, that goes back to what I said earlier, is getting the experience. Problem solving is, I think, one of the most crucial soft skills. You can't learn that. It's every single day. And certainly Peter can attest to this in the hotel business. Every customer has a different problem.
Right.
All day, every day, and being able to think on your feet and solve problems and make the customer happy no matter what is, in the end, what will keep tourists coming here and keep your customers coming back. And you can't put your finger on that in a book. It's just going to be a matter of, one, whether you like people and trying to please them and make them have a great vacation or a great experience, but also thinking on your feet and being able to solve whatever problem it is that comes to you.
Yeah, I think another one would be, I guess, motivation, getting to work on time, and just and being productive. And when you're at work, you're not just punching in and showing up, actually participating and being part of the team. And that desire, you guys were just talking about, I lost what I was going to say, but just really participating and just being present, being there, and having a true heart for service. That's what I was thinking about, because that's what we do in this industry. We talk about, customers, and you guys always hear the old cliche, the customer's always right. I disagree with that. They're not always right, but I feel like we always have to rise up and just make sure that they are satisfied and taken care of. I've disagreed with them to the nth, and still smiled and did everything they asked me, but I didn't believe they were right. I just that's the lifeblood, like Tom was talking about. Tourism and hospitality is the lifeblood of this county. And when people come into any of my businesses or restaurants, we just really want to show them a good experience. And that experience changes from business to business. And at Dank, we're a little more edgy and punky, and at Circa we're a little more, yes ma'am, no ma'am. And it's just knowing kind of where you're at. But I think punctuality, like getting to work on time, being there, being present, and being productive when you get there is super important. It's not a social hour. As soon as you punch in, it's, we got stuff to get done. So I think that's a big thing.
I think thick skin on both the service and culinary end. I mean, I hate to say it, but you're going to have to deal with some negativity, both from the patron and probably somebody working alongside you. So the ability to shake things off and do it all over again the next day is a big one as well.
Yeah.
Another one that I think is very important is to be able to take criticism. If you can't take criticism, you can't improve.
Constructive feedback, Chuck.
So that kind of what y'all were talking about is what kind of inspired us to. The only thing we require from somebody really to get them involved here is they have to embrace our core values. And to me, core values are very generic. So we're taking a business course that has taught us, and we didn't even know we were defining ours by the top people that have ever worked here and how to describe them. And we have a very healthy, unusual, I won't say unusual, unique culture here that we're very proud of. And you have to embrace these values. If you don't, it's okay. We're not mad at you. There's nothing wrong with you, but you can't be a part of the market. And we came up with positive vibe, or respectful flow, passionate work, and cardio play ethic. And when you're all of that, we call that you're our complete baller. And we do not allow negativity. If you come in a bad mood, we send you home. It doesn't happen. And there's so much in this world that is negative right now, and everybody has something very hard on them in their life outside of what they're doing. And we don't discredit that. We just tell them, you come into this place, we do not criticize. You have to be able to take critique and give it. You have to hustle. You have to be a family. We're happy. We stay happy. The food's better. We feel better. It goes through the window where people can see that as they come in. And, we definitely deal with people that are negative towards us or anything we've done, but it makes us much more balanced to handle it. And I feel like that environment gets somebody to feel a part of this team and this family within the first hour that they're here. And it is proven to make these people a lot stronger when they go out that door. Leave it outside, come in, get stronger in this kind of environment to face whatever it is you have to face outside of the market. And once we have that, that's the most important thing to us. And we've had people come in and say they love these core values. And I don't know how you don't. And again, I didn't come up with them. It was all brought on by how we saw the best people that have ever worked here, several are still here, and how we describe them. And it's made a huge difference. We cut to the chase when we hire people now. If they don't like this, it's okay. Nothing wrong with it. You won't fit with us. And anyone that's been in our kitchen will tell you it's that way. Anyone that stopped by, we're a happy group. We have a problem, we solve it in a good way and look at what we can do for each other, not against anybody or the situation. And I feel we've been very lucky, and that took a long time to figure this out, but we're proud of that. And that would be what we require. That would be it. And after that, it puts you in motion where you seem to fit in best to contribute.
I have sort of one word that boils down to soft skills, and that's attitude. Attitude is a choice. You make a choice every day to have that positive mental attitude. And, we're all actors at some point, everything that goes on in our world and our personal lives, you leave that at the door, and we get the opportunity every day to make somebody happy. You can't do that in a lot of jobs.
Okay, one last question. Okay. What is one piece of advice you would give to any student that's interested in pursuing your career or your culinary area or your hospitality area that you would, basically, if you could do it over again, what's one piece of advice you wish somebody had told you?
You don't want to hear that.
Can we turn off the recorder for just a second?
Okay. We'll give advice now. How about that?
Yeah. I mean, I'll start with that. I would just encourage younger folks to, this industry is just so vast. There's so many moving parts. From a culinary standpoint, you could be a restaurant chef, a country club chef, a private chef on a boat or a house. You could do caterings and banquets. There's just so many things that you can get involved with. I think young people need to just kind of get out and see what's out there. There's so many jobs that you don't even realize exist. There's so many needs there's so many needs out there, so many jobs, and it's things you would never even really think of. So, you don't have to work in a restaurant. You don't have to work in a hotel. There's nursing homes, there's country clubs, there's beach clubs, there's just so many things. And it's just like, where do you want to be? What hours do you want to work? I mean, I don't want to speak for Jeremiah, but he was a club chef for a while and he's transitioned. And, as you get older and you grow through this, your body changes, your needs change, you have family, kids. So, things change. I've had Circa almost 11 years now. And when Liza and I started Circa, we had no kids. Now we have 2. We had no other businesses, and now we have multiple. So it's like, it's setting yourself up and understanding where it is that you want to be, what your goals are, long-term goals. And, I think if I could speak to young people, what I think what impacts me most is 10 years isn't a long time. When you're 20, 30 seems like it's light years away. I mean, it's forever away, right? But I think, in the blink of an eye, 10 years goes by like that. And you're like, oh, here we are. And, it's just kind of like, getting experience, time on task, seeing what's out there, seeing what fits you best, and kind of how you want to move forward with that. I mean, that's really kind of what it amounts to for me. Hustle.
Well, I think Clark's right there, and I appreciate him pointing out that I'm getting old and slow. But my suggestion would be to go to school and work while you're in school and get a degree and keep your opportunities open to you. All right. And the more education you have, the more opportunity you have, and you need to work while you're getting that education to, like Clark said, to see what's out there, because there is so much. So that would be my two. Get an education and work.
I'm going to jump back in real quick. I just want to tell young people, we need you. You are next. Like,
That's good.
you know, we need you, and don't be scared. And, you know, I think, you know, me personally, I will go ahead and say I value, you guys might get mad at me for this, whatever. I value hard work over education. I do. I just want you to come in, because in my world, I need you to do my job. So there's no substitute for hard work. You can be educated with a PhD, and if I can't get you to work on time, you're no good to me. You know, so I think it comes in steps, but you know, we need the younger generation. We need you guys to get involved. Don't be scared. You know, just ask questions and be present and be there. I have a 19-year-old that we hired on at Circuit recently, and he's got a great just mental culinary like IQ for a 19-year-old. I'm like, where did this come from? And I'm just like excited to kind of work with it. And he wants to go do computer science mess, and I'm trying to talk him into staying, but you know, but it's just like, we need you guys. So put yourself out there and take risk and go learn. You know?
Yeah, I would say the number one thing for me that has guided me my whole life, and it took a lot of learning to do it, is you cannot be afraid of failing. You need to be scared to death of not trying. And that's what I've lived by. This was a corner nobody wanted in Morehead City. It was not worth anything. And Matt had this idea, I think, just to make me work, because all I did was play basketball and surf. And it evolved. And when you listen to people and just try, again, I've had a lot of motivation from the people around here and the wonderful chefs that are on this Zoom, even, that, you know, if you put out good food and keep it simple and you can keep moving forward with it and the customers and listen to them. But we weren't afraid of failing, and we failed a lot, and we still do. But it's nice to know that I know that this group that we have here and my husband will always out-try anything that we fail at to get better at it. And that would be my number one thing, is just go live your life. And like Clark said, we need people. It's nice to have this community, and we're so well supported, especially at the market, by the staff that's local. And we all need it. Y'all need it. We are a great avenue. If you're interested in food, there's a lot of ways you can get in it, whether you're making it or not. You can be involved and be very proud to be a part of any of these places that we're talking about today, or making it, or just being a part of helping to let people experience it and learn about it.
I'd agree with Jeremiah. Go to school and work at the same time. And then while you're doing that, don't be afraid to try different things. You know, you may start in the front of the house and decide that you don't want to talk to people all the time. Then, you know, you may like the kitchen. We've had people transition from one direction to the other, and, you know, find something that makes you feel good when you're doing it.
I think that what education does is give you choices, and gives you the ability to do what Peter said, which was to try a whole bunch of different things and figure out what your path is. I think there's a calling in this industry. I think you're called to do this. It is 365 days a year, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. It does not stop, and requires a passion. Listen to the passion. Everybody on the screen is being supported by this industry, and it is a wonderful thing to do. Always keep your options open, and it is exciting. It can take you anywhere in the world. It is, I mean, I hope and pray you stay here, of course, but if you need to go on and bring your experience back, that's all the better. But there is nothing better than this business.
I'll tag in on that because that's kind of what I was going to say is that if you choose not to live here, but why wouldn't you? But if you choose not to live here, it can take you anywhere. It's such a great profession. And also to think outside the box. I mean, you might not, as a student, you might think hospitality and culinary is not something that I'm interested in, but there's a wide variety of industry or different things that you can do in this industry. Everything from fishing and scuba diving and being a tour guide on a kayak, or all of those things are hospitality oriented. And what you learn in a hospitality classroom can be, you can take that with you no matter what your career is. So I just would give advice to look outside of I don't want to work in a hotel and I don't want to work in a kitchen. There's a lot of opportunity that's not just those two things. And as Shanna said, it'll take you anywhere you want to go. I just think outside the box is my advice.
Well, I told a little fib a while ago. I do have one more question, but actually it's mainly for Shanna and Chef Park. What can you really briefly touch on the programs Carteret County offers if anybody wants to be in hospitality, just so that the kids can hear it one time from someone other than me?
I lost you. You froze.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Can you just touch real quickly on the programs that Carteret Community College offers in hospitality and culinary, just so that the kids can hear it?
Yes. So what we're looking at is we have a culinary arts associate's degree, a baking and pastry associate's degree, plus certificates, which is a shorter time commitment, but still gives you a great skill set. We have a hospitality degree with a concentration in restaurant management and a hospitality degree with a concentration in hotel management. For life skills and occupational skills students, we have food service technologies. This is going to help them create a skill set so they can go into the workplace and be self-sufficient, which is very exciting. And we also have an associate's degree in baking and pastry arts, which also has some certificates, specialty certificates attached to it. And we're moving into our new building, hopefully, God willing, by the end of the month. And that's going to be very exciting.
That is very exciting.
Hey, can I add one thing real quick? I just thought about.
Sure.
So I just want to touch on, so as a young person, a young student, I just want to be clear that you don't have to go to a big named culinary institution to become a good chef. Okay. That's important. The CIA is amazing. The Johnson Wales programs, they do a great job. But, at the end of the day, our cuisine is all based around and centered around the same techniques. Okay. So a brunoise here is a brunoise there. And I just, so if it's a financial decision or if it's you don't want to leave home decision, whatever the case may be, we just built I haven't been there yet, just driving by, and I want to come see it, guys. But the building looks amazing, and I've heard what it looks like in there. But we have this first-class facility that just came up in Carteret County, and you don't even have to leave the county to get contact with this school. And then you have, Charles and Shanna and all these other great minds over there that are instructing and teaching. And you don't have to go drop a load of money on these big name culinary schools to get the same education. So just know that, because that was something that I know I get asked that a lot. From a lot of people that work for me, a lot of the younger people coming up, they want to ask me, where did I go to school? I went to school in South Florida at a culinary school down there, and the program wasn't here at the time, and that was my decision. Did you go to Johnson Wales, Jeremiah? Was that you?
I did. I went in Norfolk, and Clark, what you're saying is true, and I should touch on this as well. Look, I've worked in Chattanooga, Chicago, DC. Look, I've been around myself. And the dearth of culinary talent around this country is amazing. And the big name schools are good, but you go to CCC, Charles and Shana have a ton of knowledge, and they're as good as anybody I've seen. And you're right. You can get just as good an education there as anywhere.
And you don't come out with giant student debt. You can live at home while you're doing it. There's just a lot of benefits. You can work, you can stay local, you can network. I think people really don't it's so hard to put a price tag in the value of networking and just relationships. You can't, I mean, it's so awesome when we get to do like the Beaufort Wide Food Festival and all of us chefs get together. I get to see these guys once or twice a year. We got to go to a food show in South Florida to like see each other, like, or Asheville. It's cool to like see the guys. There's a lot of talent here, and there's great value in the community college program. Huge value.
And I will say, I have toured the new facility. It is awesome. It is state of the art. It's beautiful. I just can't say enough things about it.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, we're not careful. I'll lose my foods teacher.
I just want to throw that out there.
But she toured and she said it's absolutely beautiful. Of course, I went with her, but I couldn't tell you what all the stuff was. I was like, oh, look at this. Oh, look at this. I don't know what it does, but it's cool. But she was telling me all it was doing as we're going through. So it's beautiful. Thank you.
He's got a state-of-the-art kitchen too.
Today. And helping us learn more about the culinary and hospitality in Carteret County. I look forward to more discussions. Hopefully we can have some of the discussions in the future that are a little more poignant towards your particular area. But again, we're looking forward to the Carteret County Public Schools Career Academy and Culinary and Hospitality. And thank you so much for having us today. I appreciate you taking your time out of your busy schedule, because I know you all are busy. And I know it's a little bit of your downside, but there's never downtime for culinary and hospitality is what I've decided. So I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Y'all were so awesome.